it's really difficult, and then it's important to like reset and start going again. And I think the guy we can see now in the picture, he's really clever to reset himself, and I was a bit surprised this morning because I believe that on all the fast stuff he will be really flying, because we know he's fast in Poland, in Latvia as well, and he said the same. He struggled with the commitment, with the pace not to be perfect, and just throw the car around there.
Yeah, all right. Well, that is Martins Sesks that we were talking about. Now, we did have Paul King getting in lots of interviews in the media zone. There's a loose glove. I did want to have a statistic on how many gloves are lost in Sweden per year. But as I mentioned, Paul King been doing the interviews in the media zone, which happened a bit earlier on. Let's dip in and listen to Rich Millener and then to Martins Sesks.
Martin's beautiful conditions out there, fresh snow, blue skies above. How's it been for you out there in your position?
Well, yeah, the conditions are really nice, and sun is shining, and it looks beautiful. I think from outside and also from inside from the car, it is just beautiful. But yeah, for our morning, I was too cautious like all the time, because I don't know, but the grip suddenly changed from yesterday a lot, and the stages, they are much faster. And I'm kind of struggling between how fast we can go, and I'm like giving a little bit more and more and more, and just trying to see where's that sweet spot. And yeah, I wouldn't say this was what was the best morning, but yeah, we're here, we're learning, and you know, you always want to be faster and be better, and but yeah, we just have to keep it like in long time.
How do you deal with that? You know, grip levels are sort of still a little bit unpredictable. How do you deal with that inside the car? Because I guess you feel like you've left some stuff behind in the stage, but at the same time, you know, you can be caught out so quickly. It must be a difficult one to judge.
Yeah, it is, especially now today where we have really, really high-speed stages. And it's just with the brake, with the first turning input, you just have to kind of feel how it goes. But yeah, suddenly today in the morning, it was just a bit too cautious. But yeah, we're still here, and it's not so bad overall, I think.
It's always nice for a rally driver, I guess, to get involved in a battle as well. You've got that Sami Pyri sort of looming large in those rear-view mirrors. He's not too far distant. Is that a nice sort of challenge to have against someone who's obviously also really, really strong in this sort of surface? Yeah,
of course. It is really nice that we can keep up with each other, and today the times are quite similar. We're losing a little bit, but yeah, the good thing is that we know where we are losing, and we'll see on the second loop. And yeah, General WRC was just a few years ago when we started together.
How do you see that second loop evolving in terms of that road surface this afternoon with all that extra snow that we've had overnight?
Actually, that extra snow didn't mess anything. The grip was suddenly much more better than it was yesterday. So yeah, kind of interesting how it will go. Okay,
we'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you, Martins. Well, Rich, glad you could join us for this media zone. It's been a fascinating challenge out there. We were just saying to Martins, it's incredible conditions, beautiful blue skies, bit of fresh snow. How have you seen things watching from afar out there today?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, it's a bit more difficult for us being closer to the front this time, but really happy with what we're doing. Ultimately, most of the splits we're seeing from the guys is, you know, of what I would want to see. You know, we don't have as much seat time as the others and as much experience as the others. So honestly, I think it's been a really good morning, strong morning.
Yeah, I said to Greg last night, he was kind of looking forward to, it'd be nice to actually be out there front, looking forward to a big, nice fresh layer of ice, and then he stepped out into a blizzard. I mean, it couldn't have been what he was hoping for in terms of the road position today.
Yeah, I mean, the fight right at the front is really tight, so I think it would be unrealistic for us to kind of expect we'd be up there on every rally. So it's a good opportunity for him to experience the different conditions again, and, you know, the other drivers had similar problems yesterday morning. Maybe not the fresh snow as much, but still the same kind of feeling. So it's a good opportunity for them to learn how to minimise time loss in those difficult conditions. But yeah, I mean, I think some of our splits from all the crews have been really good. Josh has had a really strong morning as well. Martins hasn't really been in the car much at all, so can definitely be happy enough.
Yeah, we just spoke to Martins. He was listening intently to your words there for a second.
Yeah, I could see him. He's waiting for me to say something.
Now. But no, it's great to have him back this season, isn't it? I mean, he's obviously got a bit of winter rallying experience, but as you say, really difficult to get used to that at Rally 1 level. But how impressive you've been with Martins to run out there so far?
Yeah, it's so hard to expect someone to have one-day test and then come to a rally and jump in and be at the speed of the other guys. It's a massive ask. So, I think he knows there's a few bits he needs to tidy up and wants to tidy up on his driving. And again, I think it's so hard to modulate stuff and not get thinking about losing time and having to push more and more, which actually can lose you more time. So there's a lot still to learn, and we're learning all the way through the event, and I think everybody's still learning how the tyres react on these kind of differing conditions. So plenty of challenges, but this afternoon maybe we'll get an advantage for being where we are. Let's see.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you very much, Rich. Thank you. Thank you very much. Who have I got?
Rich Millener and Martins Sesks there. From one young gun to another, Kalle Rothenperä. Thank goodness, I think, the story there that he's found what is making that car and him click this morning. It'll be impressive to see what comes of the afternoon.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday that, you know, we are talking about the 2-time world champion, and he's struggling so much, and will he be able to like collect everything and find the right setup and go out? And certainly did. So he showed this. It's not correct to say he's old Kalle because he's really young, but you know, he found his right spirit again and collected everything together, changed his setup a bit, and all of a sudden he was there.
I do like how brains start to work, don't they? It's just like we were talking about. You know, he came back from one World Championship win, and it took a couple of rounds to settle in. I think that's how Kalle works. But you know, people's brains start to wander, and it's actually like that is a 2-time world champion and one of probably the best drivers that has come through the WRC. So I think, don't worry, we'll be all right.
Yeah, he will be all right. I think sometimes it's good to do something else, you know. It's rally, and you're thinking about diffs and everything here. It's just, I think sometimes it's good with a break, but it cost him now a few stages, maybe 1.5 rally before he was back. But now I think we see the world champion as good as he can be.
Now, talking about that learning curve, we will just scoot back to the interview with Rich Millener there. That's what he was sort of referring to with Martins Sesks, because it is a huge learning curve, and also never underestimating the fact that the limitations of testing one day in the car, it is all very hard for Martins Sesks to come in and be at the same pace of an Ott Tänak, a Kalle Rothenperä.
I mean, it's a character building thing. It's young drivers in M-Sport at the moment, and they have always been really good supporting the young guys. They're struggling a bit from time to time to find the right rhythm. It's all about reading the grip. You need to judge whether you can go flat, or you need to be on the brakes a bit, or go neat, or go sideways. It's a learning curve they just have to go through. And when you first find the sweet spot that Martins is talking about, it's so easy and everything feels so like the times just get there and you just enjoy. But when you're struggling a bit, like Greg said the other stage, I think it was the last stage yesterday, that I have no idea where I can take 8 seconds. I have no idea.
Yeah, it must be a tough one. But like you said, when it works, it works. All right, well, it's not just myself and Ivan that are here. Mike Chen is roaming around as well, so we will be hearing from him in a little while. But for now, it's Adrien Fourmaux that we're going to listen into with PK.
Adrien, I'm so sorry for you. I mean, you can understand your reasons for not wanting to speak at the end of that stage. Just talk us through what went on there at the start line.
It just happened that I was not ready. I just realized 6-7 seconds before the start that my helmet was not tight. Well, there was no belt, nothing, so I had to put it on. But then we had to lose time because Alex told me that we only have 20 seconds to leave the start line. Well, it was really messy. This kind of thing shouldn't happen. We have also Marshall who are there to check if we have got everything, and Marshall was there, but they didn't say anything, and so only it's my responsibility. But there was no belt, no gloves, nothing. We should have reacted, and I didn't check the time, and Alex just told me 10 seconds, and so.
It must be a sickening feeling, and I'd imagine as well it just completely knocks your flow and your rhythm as you go into the stage with that sort of distraction at the beginning. Right?
Well, it's not great. First of all, after you have a lot of frustration after that, so I had to stop middle of the stage to tie the belt and then go again. And then you are fighting for 1 and 2 seconds since yesterday, and you arrive there and it's a stupid thing. So it's really frustrating. So we'll see what we can do for that, because it's more safety reasons than anything else. So I decided to stop just to make sure it's safe. So let's see if we can gain some time back.
Take that massive frustration away. How have things been feeling inside the car when you're all up to speed? Everything going okay this morning? Because slightly different stages lay out today.
Yes, today there are faster stages. The conditions are really good. We have good high space on the roads, and the conditions are good. Really great feeling this morning with the car. The pace was correct. I was happy with that. apart the issue with the start line, all the rest was going well.
As you say, that big chunk of time lost, I guess it makes you even more determined to try and fight back again and respond. But I guess the danger is you try and kind of over-respond. It must be difficult to temper your emotions.
It's really tricky, you know, when you lose 20 seconds, when we are fighting for between 10 seconds since yesterday with 5 drivers. When you lose 20, it's not easy to catch up, but let's see, many things can also happen in the afternoon.
Good luck for later. Get a few words.
Okay, Ivan, I'm kind of going to hand this over to you. Just talk us through everything that he's just spoken about there.
You know, we just realized in the last second that he didn't tighten his helmet and properly, and you know, it's something we go through, and it's like a ritual you do before every stage, that you fasten the seat belts, checking the hybrid or the Hans, and he wasn't really ready, to be honest, and he was a bit out of focus. And normally there's a marshal all the time that tells us like to remind us that check your helmet, check your hybrid, check your belts, and unfortunately he didn't show the sign, and it's our responsibility as a driver to check all that, but I missed it, and they started to go and they realized I need to stop, so on the stage they stopped, tightened the helmet, and then almost half a minute they lost.
Is there anything that can come back from that? The marshal is only there as a courtesy reminder, it's not something that is a requirement?
You know, it's always a driver and the co-driver's responsibility to do it, but of course it's one of the main jobs for the stage commander to make sure that we are all told that make sure that the belts, everything, the safety equipments are in place. But in the end of the day, it's the crew's responsibility. So unfortunately, Adrien made a big mistake, and he realized it, and he fixed it. But it cost him the victory.
Okay, well, we are in Hyundai. That is the noise there. They're running through Ott's car. You were watching it through the last couple of stages of the morning. What did you think was wrong, and what is going on now?
I mean, it's definitely something with the cooling of the engine, because you can see he was not using the wiper, and when you're not using the wipers, it must mean that there's some oil inside this water. So it's a mix, I believe, of the cooling, the coolant water, and some fluids or oil, whatever, and it cost quite some time because he couldn't really see. The sun was really high on the sky, and you could see he was struggling to see where he was going. So hopefully now they managed to fix the problem. They're trying now to check the engine and checking for leaks and everything, and yeah, I hope they can find it.
Okay, well, it is very loud. These cars do run very loudly. So I am going to hand over to Mike Chen for a second. He's in Toyota. See what's going on down there.
Yeah, it's very loud where you are, Kiri. I can tell you it's very loud here as well. Not a lot going down here at Toyota, to be honest. We saw this morning the cars were on great form, weren't they? And clearly Kalle and Elfyn comfortable with what they had underneath him. It's been a relatively routine service down here at Toyota. Opportunity maybe to adjust damper clicks, that kind of thing, but there's not been a lot to do on any of the cars down here. Elfyn Evans' car's just been run up, and it's gone through a warming cycle. Takamoto Katsuta's car on the stands at the moment, warming up as well. Elfyn will be leaving in just 2.5 minutes or so, and PK caught up with him earlier on.
Elfyn, great morning for you out there. So many people seem to have been struggling from stage to stage, very different out there, but you seem to have been keeping things together really nicely. How have you found it out there?
Yeah, a bit mixed myself, to be fair. The first and the last of the loop I wasn't fully happy with, but quite messy. The condition, the grip changing a bit, especially in that last one. A lot of the junctions seemed to be very difficult to get clean exits and be clean. So yeah, the middle stage was good for us, but otherwise it's not been fully straightforward, let's say.
Is it what you were expecting? We had quite a lot of overnight snow, but it doesn't seem to, other than the really front runners, it doesn't seem to have affected things that much. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it's fairly constant, I would say, after the first few cars. It hasn't snowed so much, it seems, so the condition is still pretty nice.
You've got your teammate Taka still pretty close, though, behind. I know the Hyundai's having a couple of issues. It's still really, really close. Just tell us how nip and tuck it is and how fine the margins are to find that sweet spot and stay ahead, because it is so close still, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very close, and obviously with the margins we have, there's no room for error. Even the smallest error is going to cost. So yeah, we just have to keep our head down and keep at it this afternoon.
Saw a huge change in the surface yesterday in terms of the afternoon loop. How do you see that evolving today? Will it be a similar story, or is it a bit more consistent today?
I would say there's a bit more ice, but that's not to say that the conditions will be as straightforward. Possibly a little bit lighter on the tyre, but we have to wait and see to judge that.
Thank you, mate. Good luck for later. Thanks. Thank you.
Well, Elfyn Evans is leading our rally. I know that he sounded a little bit more miffed about it than actually you'd think, but it is a small margin. It's been a small margin the whole way through, but currently is leading the rally. What do you think he can do this afternoon? I mean, realistically, he needs to give himself a bit of a buffer heading into tomorrow.
Normally, the second loop, he will lose time. I said it yesterday as well, and he didn't. So we actually won the stage. So it's hard to predict, but I mean, it's more wide now compared with yesterday, and it's so fast. So hopefully, maybe he can, how can I say, try to avoid to lose too much time. But normally, second time through the stage, as a first car, you will lose time.
Now, there is quite a fierce battle going on for this top three position. We just saw Ott Tänak walking behind us, and our eyes are with Taka as well. This is going to be a big, big battle. We've seen a lot of pace from Ott, and Taka's been pretty impressive so far.
Yeah, they have all been impressive, I think, this morning, and try to avoid mistakes. And the good thing for the guys now is like it's somebody there to clean the road. But normally it's the second time through. It will be more messy, like we said, and it's all about trying to be in the line and avoid mistakes. And Tak as well did a really good job so far. It's all the time when he's there. I don't want to jinx it, but so close in Sweden, and all of a sudden he's in the snowbank. So I cross my fingers now that Taka won't do any mistakes and try to follow the ruts and be neat and tidy all the way through the afternoon.
And keep this man at bay. OK, well, as we watch Ott Tänak walking back towards his car for the final four stages of Saturday, let's listen in to Taka, who spoke to PK. Has he got his fingers crossed?
Taki set such high standards yesterday, winning stages, things just drifting away from you a little bit in terms of your feeling. Well, what exactly how do you evaluate what's gone on there?
Yeah, it's probably conditions of the stage for sure. More icy than yesterday, and feeling is a bit different. So, and also we have more, let's say, wide and high-speed section and very high-speed sections. So, yeah, just need to fix a bit, but otherwise okay. Hope so. I don't know.
It does seem to change as well from stage to stage. How is that sort of layout and the surface sort of changing as you go through those kilometres today?
Yeah, for sure it's very different than yesterday, but today's stage also slightly different. Maybe ice is quite similar, but the type of the stage, narrow section feels good, but then wider part I'm struggling a lot, so which is quite a lot of wide section stages. So just need to fix, because tomorrow also quite wide and some nice sections. Let's see, gap is quite close, but I try to do same thing what I did this morning and yesterday, and just need to find a better setup for afternoon and tomorrow morning.
Oh, you've obviously, I guess you've been chatting to your engineers already. You've got this service now. Have you got a good idea of what direction you need to go in terms of getting that dialed in? Because it was such a strong start for you yesterday afternoon, at least.
Yeah, they are working on it, so I trust them. I'm trying to focus on my own things and driving and pace notes, so I try to, of course, I need to think about a bit setup, but that's them job also, so I will leave it to them.
Hope you find it. Good luck for the afternoon. Thank you.
Setup. Well, it's not just Ott Tänak. I said just keep Ott Tänak at bay because he was walking behind us, but he's also got to keep Thierry Neuville at bay now. So he's got two men hunting him down there. Whether it's possible or whether Taka has found the perfect setup. Do we think that he's found the perfect setup for the afternoon, no mistakes, or is Ott Tänak going to come out charging again?
Oh, it's difficult to say. You got the two Hyundai guys, Thierry and Ott, with 3/10 between them, and then the two Toyota guys with only 2-3 seconds between them. So it's a big battle going on, and just behind those four guys, it's Calderon and Pera hunting them down, a bit more than 20 seconds behind them. So it's an interesting afternoon. It's all ready for a party of speed. I think they're gonna really go flat out now.
Well, they sort of have been as a pack, operating as a pack at the moment. It's a bit like cycling, is it? One needs to pull away soon because one needs to secure themselves that buffer. Super Sunday, of course, points up for grabs tomorrow, but they need a buffer to be able to secure themselves the top spot. So it is, I think, this afternoon all important.
They look a bit worried now, Cyril and Ott, watching the guys checking the car, but it seems like it's a calm situation. I believe they knew already that maybe it was the same kind of situation with Andreas Mikkelsen in Japan, and they sorted it out. So now it looks quite calm in Hyundai at the moment. Calm before the storm.
Maybe. Well, what does Ott Tänak think? Let's hand over to his interview with PK.
Ott, clearly time lost, clearly some sort of issue. There's some liquid on the screen. I know you've not really been able to go into too much detail. Are you able to tell us anything more at this stage? What has been going on inside the car? What's the feeling you're having?
Yeah, this morning I had actually like a chassis-wise a bit better feeling. The balance improved a bit, so yeah, I was a bit more playful in the car. But yeah, on second stage we started to lose out a bit, and same continued on the third one. So yeah, obviously, yeah, as you can see, some liquid is coming, but why and from where, I don't know. So we need to see.
So can you eliminate anything? I mean, there's speculate. It's not an overheating engine. There's nothing seriously wrong with the engine at least, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's engine is running, so yeah, we have to see.
And we've got people at the end of the stages trying to smell it. Is it an oil smell? Is it just water? Or coolant? Is it anything you can't tell us more than that until you get it into the service?
Yeah, I'm sure your people are quite clever and smart. So yeah, you need to trust them with what they smell.
So time clearly dropped, but we're confident it's not a serious enough issue. You should be able to get that fixed and get back out there, because it was such a tight fight and looking good for you to get in the fight at the front again. Is that still a possibility if you get this thing fixed?
Yeah, I believe everything is possible in this moment. So as long as we don't know why it's happening, you know, that it means that yeah, everything is possible. So yeah, let's see what's happening, and then we go from there.
Hope you find the solution. It was a great fight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, after all that, where does it leave everybody with Ott Tänak's problems? He dropped down into fourth there, giving Thierry the opportunity to step up into those podium positions. We are just having a look now at Ott Tänak heading out onto those final four stages. For this afternoon, what do we think those stages are going to look like this afternoon in terms of degradation?
Paradise. Paradise. It's going to look like paradise. It's looking good.
Oh, I'm just going to hand over to Mike Chen, because I believe he's got Oliver Solberg in his grasps.
I tell you what, lads, you were quick out of the blocks with that one. Thank you very much. Oliver, I know you've got a couple of minutes left before you've got to go. It's been a good morning for you all in all, hasn't it? I know you had those issues yesterday. When you haven't got full throttle, you can't play with the car as much. It gets into your head, but all in all, you've been controlling this from the front.
Yeah, definitely. Feeling is not too bad, so just been driving steady pace, learning every stage, and today is definitely very different stages, so just trying to get a rhythm, but just keeping it clean, and then yeah, this afternoon the same really. Yeah.
Conditions this afternoon, because obviously you know better than most people here. You've been around these sorts of stages most of your life. What can we expect when the temperature's like this, and with what you saw this morning? What do you think the road conditions will be like?
The first one I think can be quite some gravel in the middle section, quite a lot actually, and then the last two should be just nice and flat out.
Good man, enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Good grab there, Jenny. Talking to Oliver Solberg, it's a bit like you, to be honest. You know the snow.
Yeah, I do. So he talked about a little bit gravel. You know, there will be some gravel, and it will be interesting to see if they're going for 1 or 2 spares. I believe most of them will try with 2 spares and don't go for a gamble. It's better to have fresh tires in the front, and I think it's now Oliver's in the kind of controlling everything. The guys behind him, you know, they are doing small mistakes. We saw Millener doing a mistake, and the young Tuka the Finn was also doing a mistake, and yeah, he's cruising a bit now, I think.
Okay, well, we did talk about WRC overall classification, so let's give you a reminder of the WRC too. So Oliver Solberg, and then
Roope Korhonen,
and then Robert Verves,
and Mikko Häkkilä,
Larry Una,
Isak Reiersen,
and then Robert Jürgensen are rounding out your top 7. Then Pontus Tiedemann, a couple of places gained today. Did you expect to see more of him, or is it just so hard just jumping back in?
I think it's difficult for all of them now, and I think it's difficult for them to like understand the tire. The tire is really strong, and it's really a key to lock up this special safe to understand how to drive on these tires, and it's some understand and some struggle still.
Yeah, it's difficult to get that information through. Okay, well, the 4 stages, a repeat of this morning's loop plus an extended super special. So this is what we're looking at. This is the battle. Look at the gaps between the top 4 there. There is nothing in it. Elfyn Evans separated by 2.8 seconds to Taka. Thierry Neuville moves into 3rd position. Ott is not going to let him have that one easy. If the car's back in business, he's going to be fighting. Kalle Rothenpera, has he got more? Can he pull back enough time to get him on a podium position? Adrien Fourmaux will be kicking himself, but he's got a whole season to claw his way back into that title fight. Martins Sesks Sesks there, the front man for M Sport. Oh, it must be so hard because you could see at the end of the stage for Adrien Fourmaux, just so frustrated. No punishment needed because that man will punish himself.
Yeah, I said he was looking like a cat who's been out in the rain. He was really sad, angry and everything. He didn't say a word on the stage, and then you know, it's a big mistake, Thierry, to do it, and it's like a routine. You do it every time. Fasten seat belts, you're doing the Hans, the hybrid, you're doing the helmet, you do everything ready, and he forgot to maybe the most important thing, to tighten his helmet.
He won't be the first and he won't be the last.
No, unfortunately, no, yes.
Okay, all right, well, we have been talking about Thierry Neuville. It's been kind of a non-event, a non-starter for a while, but now he's in those podium positions, back where the champ knows he can fight from. So let's listen in to that interview.
Well, Thierry, it's been an interesting morning out there, still suffering with some setup issues in the middle one, but then you up to third at the end of the morning. How have things evolved for you out there today?
Yeah, I mean, another interesting morning, yeah, definitely. I mean, had quite a good feeling in the first run. Just got a half a spin where I cut a bit too much in the snowbank and lost a bit of time, but surprised to see the time difference between Kalle and myself. So a bit worried, but we're able to increase a bit our speed. Still working around the car to somehow improve the feeling. I mean, a couple of corners where I still struggle with some balance problems, but overall, we found maybe a bit more grip, and that definitely helped in the last one.
A lot of the drivers seem to be, you know, having different feelings from stage to stage. What is it about the stages out there that's sort of changing so much?
I don't know if it's the stages or because we are still trying to find the right balance with those tires. I don't know, but it's continuous search about something better.
It's still such fine margins, so close at the front. I know they're leading to a little bit away, but how do you see things evolving over the afternoon, and is there a chance to really get in the mix up there?
I don't know. I had a good feeling yesterday afternoon. Nevertheless, the road will get faster and faster by each car now after the national event. The lines and ruts will get better and better. So I don't know what we can do, but we have to try. I mean, it's important to get closer to the lead.
Well, can he hold on tight to that Thierry Neuville there? Now, it's not as if Ivan has magically transformed into somebody else, but I do have somebody else with me. It's Timo Scheider. I'm sure most of you will know him already. DTM driver. I think I've pronounced your name wrong. Scheider, haven't I?
Exactly.
Scheider, that's it. There we go. Timo's joining us because he has come to have a look around the rally, but also you've got a bit of a drift thing going on here as well.
Well, since 6 or 7 years by now, we have a rally drift school like in Arvidsjaur, 3 hours away from here. So and it was just the right call to come over here to see some of my friends. I know some of the drivers, and thanks to Toyota and Sébastien Auger, he organized actually everything up here, and I came here with 6 people, so it's a good chance to see the guys live.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a glittering career yourself, but rallying definitely a different form. Of course, you've been doing some rallycross, but what have you made of it out here on the snow?
Well, to be honest, I just have seen my very first stages live on WRC, and this in the snow here in Sweden is so impressive. And to see those guys in the forest out there it's an amazing feeling, and I get goosebumps, to be honest, being on side and follow these guys. Now,
that's something I was going to talk about. If that is your first time on a stage, you've been around motorsport for many years, but standing on a stage, the helicopter appears, the rally car comes through, there's nothing quite like it.
To be honest, I was just right in the middle of the fans, and those guys out there, the fans are already amazing. So we had such a good time just waiting for the cars. But of course, when the cars appear, that was amazing atmosphere, and I really would love to drive one of those cars just to feel how it feels. So I got already a little offer from Toyota to test it, but I guess today is bad timing. Who said this?
Okay, well, that would be amazing to see. But not only that, you've of course been meeting some of the drivers, and you've spoken to some of our girls. Claire, who's part of the Beyond Rallies, she's a little bit nervous because there's a lot on the line for her. When you were a young driver, her prize that's up for grabs would have been a dream come true.
Oh yes, 100%. We have just been speaking for a couple of minutes, but I saw the tension and the emotions already there because the pressure is so high over there. But it's good to see some German girls together with Yara Hein. Yara was actually my co-pilot when I had a guest appearance in rally with Opel back in the days. So I had a quick talk, but I understood the pressure's on, and I left them alone and said, hey, go concentrate yourself and bring this back home.
Now you are just witnessing some of our crazy rally fans. Again, some of the wildest adventures.
Oh yes, here we are.
Is that a little man or a big man? It's a big man. It's a big man up a tree, but fair enough. It's probably a good place. taste of you from. So the rest of your day, it looks like you're going to go back out on those stages?
Yes, of course. I would love to see it. And of course, tonight we come back to the service. And I know there's a lot of pressure to the drivers, to each and everyone. It's like a high professional racing series. So I'm here as a fan. I try to enjoy every second. I soak up everything. And I will spend a little bit of time with Toyota in the hospitality, have a cup of coffee and some food tonight, and try to be as happy as I can.
Try and see if you can slip yourself in the seat just
Let's
for a bit.
see.
Let's see. All right, absolutely amazing. Well, I do hope you enjoy it out back on the stages. Thank you so much for joining us. OK, well, Mike Chen and Ivan Brynildsen still down at WRC 2.
Yeah, thank you, Kiri. Great to have Timo Scheider knocking around, isn't it? So many stars from all different forms of motorsport, all different disciplines down here at the World Rally Championship. Ivan, listen, we've been seeing, we've covered WRC and Rally 1, I think, enough. Let's talk about Rally 2, shall we? I think Oliver Solberg's done a brilliant job this morning, hasn't he? Being chased by Rupert Korhonen, though, as well. So, what would you do if you were Rupert now? Would you go flat out, try and catch Oliver, or what would you be at?
You know, I think it's difficult to catch Oliver, so it's all about, I think, trying to avoid mistakes. Oliver is kind of controlling it now, half a minute. He knows the rally, he knows the stages, he knows how to drive on snow, and I think he will avoid mistakes. So the other guys need to gamble a bit, they need to step up a bit, and need to take some more risks to beat Oliver. And yeah, it's a nice day to do it, to be honest. It's a nice day to gamble, but I think they will struggle.
Yeah, for sure. I think Oliver's done a fantastic job, hasn't he? And let's talk as well about the junior WRC. Brilliant to have the juniors knocking around here in obviously first round of the Junior World Rally Championship in the Rally 3 cars. Who's impressed you the most? I think it's got to be Mille Johansson. He's been spectacular. Had a few issues though just before service.
Yeah, and he did some mistakes yesterday as well. But to be honest, Mille, he's really good. He's young, but he's really good. He's born on this stuff, this white stuff called snow. In Ireland, you don't.
Is that what it's called?
Too much. Yeah, it's
cool.
called snow.
No,
so it's really slippery
yeah.
from time to time.
Right. Okay.
But anyways, I think Taylor Gill has done a great job. You know, I mean, he's up on the times on Mille Johansson, and he's pushing him, and it's the gap is bigger and bigger. But still, he's doing some stage times. I'm really impressed, and the guys behind as well. It's not too far away, so I think the juniors are doing a great job. And they are also avoiding mistakes. So except I think Max Mart did a mistake this morning, but. They're doing really good.
Yeah, Max had a couple of issues this morning, took the front bumper off that car. Quick word, Neyman Kelly as well, he's right in the fight. And again, this is not the surface. I mean, he finished on the podium last year, but he's not done a great deal of rallying on snow, so brilliant. And it's such a good place as well for young rally drivers to come through. This is where they're cutting their teeth. The next step on the ladder, of course, WRC 2, and it won't be long before we see these juniors up into the next class.
No, and I mean, it's a great drive from Cal because he had been there 4th, 5th, and all of a sudden the guys are doing mistakes, and now he's on the podium. So he put himself in a great position by being consistent, trying to just do this character building thing, find experience, and get those tires to bite in the ice and feel the good rhythm and be committed. And it's a good rally for him as well.
Totally different driving style when you're driving the Rally 3 car compared to the Rally 1. You don't have as much power to play with. You've got to be much, much smoother. Whereas we were talking about it in commentary yesterday with the Rally 1 car, you can really manipulate the car. You can drift it around, and by moving the car around, you actually find more grip. You're quite aggressive with it.
Yeah, and with the aero as well in Rally 1, you could use the aero and you could force the tires to get a grip. With the juniors, it's more like a Rally 2 car. It's less aero and it's less basically of everything. You got less travel with the suspension, less power, less brakes and everything. So you need to carry the speed all the time and like try to don't kill the speed. It's a key in the apex. Get around the corner and on the throttle and try to carry the speed all the time. When you first do that, it's not too far away from the Rally 2 cars when you're up on that average speed. So it's a nice car to start with. In my days when I was young, it was the Group N. Now we got the Rally 3. It's a perfect and brilliant way to start off your career.
Yeah, for sure, the Junior World Rally Championship. Brilliant to have them here in Sweden now, of course, competing on 5 rounds of the World Rally Championship this year. We're pretty much all done here. I should have bought gloves for this one. It is getting cold. I can tell you the temperature is dropping as the sun drops away. Thanks, mate. The temperature will continue to drop. Why don't you go to the commentary box? Here's Kiri.
I can't even tell you, he doesn't have a jumper under that jacket, and that jacket wouldn't even keep me warm in 30 degrees. I don't know what that man's up to, but anyway, thank you guys. Okay, one of those will head off to the commentary. Right, the stage almost on the way. Some fans just checking, perhaps they're watching us here on Rally TV. They certainly know. Oh. Oh, yeah, there's always one, isn't there? You know what? It is amazing. Exactly what Timo was saying. Out there, the fans are just absolutely incredible. Barbecuing, campfires, whatever it takes to keep warm and enjoy themselves out there. And that is just a small selection of some very, very enthusiastic fans. And without the fans, remember, they are fully part of the rally. When a car goes off, we need them. So perhaps they can do some lunges, getting ready. Yeah, there you go. Amazing. And a lot of them doing some dances. We did join in with some dancing, myself, Ivan and Molly, on Thursday night. A bit of group dancing to keep warm. That's been going on, Molly was telling us, at the end of the stages. Okay, 2:10, 3 o'clock and 4:08, stages 12, 13 and 14 on the way for you. Then there is a super special, it's stage 15, and it's an extended Umeå sprint. So just slightly longer than the stage that you'll have seen last night is in preparation for the Wolf Power stage, which suddenly appears on your screen at midday tomorrow. Remember, Super Sunday on the way for you. And it is 10 points up for grabs. The usual 5 points for the Wolf Power stage, and then it is 5 points up for grabs in the Super Sunday points. And while I've got you here, I should actually wish our very own Emir Penlan happy birthday, one of my favourite human beings. So back in Wales, I hope that you are having a fantastic time. Just the WRC2 cars behind us, Pontus Tiedemann getting ready to go out. And the reason they're getting ready to go out is because the stage is ready. Let's do this. Let's hand over to the commentators.
Welcome back to Saturday afternoon, and we have a great lineup of stages for you. The same as we've run this morning, plus a run through Umeå to round off the day at the fantastic Red Barn Arena. But we head back to Venice, which is, of course, the first stage of the afternoon. It's where we kicked off proceedings this morning. It's where Kalle Rov and Per